everyone, and welcome. My name's Mel, and I'm a developer advocate at Atlassian. So welcome to today's Dev Den. I'll be your moderator today. Joining me, we have Ian from the developer experience team,
Hey
Sreeja,
everyone.
who's an ecosystem engineer. Oh, sorry, Sreeja. Yeah. Tim from developer experience. Isha, who's an ecosystem PM. And Sean, who's an ecosystem PM as well. So today we're going to have a short recap of what you need to know about the Connect end of support. Then Sreeja is going to share a demo to incrementally migrate your Connect app to Forge. And then we've left plenty of time for Q&A with our very knowledgeable panel this evening. So before we begin, I'm going to hand the virtual mic over to Ian, who can share some upcoming developer events.
Okay, thank you, Mel. Before we go to the announcements, I love to get a sense of who's in the room today. So where's everyone joining us from? So feel free to use the chat box to send us your answers and let us know where you are today. Okay, we have here, hey, Mark from Netherlands. I don't know how to greet good morning in Netherlands, but hello. And then we have Brandon from Vietnam. Hey, Brandon. So same time zone as me. I'm based in Manila. Okay. Now to the announcements. Okay. So Team 25 Europe is just 3 weeks away. So if you haven't registered yet, you still have time. In line with that, did you know that there will be a Forge developer training at Team EU? I, together with the other developer advocates, will be there to conduct 2 hands-on Forge developer training sessions, one for beginners and the other for intermediate developers. So if you learn best by doing and getting your hands dirty, sign up now and I'll see you there. Next up, if you're not yet part of the Atlassian Developers community, I recommend that you go to this link and join now. Here, you'll get updated with the latest developer events. So these events can be virtual, in-person, or hybrid. And in line with that, coming next month, we have this in-person event in Cologne as the community celebrates its 10th year. Here, you get to meet like-minded people who are passionate about anything Atlassian. I have not been to Cologne yet, but I was told it is really nice, especially during Christmas season. And lastly, another in-person community event is happening in the EU region after Team 25 Europe. This one is in Madrid, where we'll do a quick Forge hackathon. So if you're attending Team 25 in Barcelona, this might be the perfect side quest for you. Okay. And that's it for my announcements. Back to you, Mel.
Thank you so much, Ian. Yeah, so I think some of those events will be really great if you are someone who has a Connect app and you need to migrate to Forge. So if you're local to any of those, please do sign up. Now, I need my presentation on the screen, Ian.
Yep.
Did I?
Go.
Awesome. Thank you. So today I'm going to be talking about, I'm going to be giving you guys an overview of the Connect end of support and what it means for non-marketplace, also known as custom apps. So in January 2025, we announced our plans to end support for Connect over an extended period of time. Since then, we've spoken to hundreds of developers and collected data to build a timeline for the end of support. So let's quickly recap what Connect is. So Atlassian Connect is a framework and distributed app technology that allows developers to build apps and integrations for Atlassian's cloud products such as Jira, Confluence, and Bitbucket using standard web protocols like HTTP and REST. And so why is Connect support being phased out? Connect was introduced in 2014, if you can believe it or not, and it powered the ecosystem of cloud apps we know today. However, in the last decade, the needs of our customers and partners has changed pretty significantly. And so the bar for security, privacy, and transparency has been raised in more recent years. We imagined what a cloud-native extensibility platform should look like, and Forge was the result. So to pave the way for Atlassian's next phase of extensibility, Forge will become Atlassian's only platform for developing apps. So Forge is Atlassian's serverless development platform. It's designed specifically for extending Atlassian cloud products. Using Forge is quick and easy to build apps with just a little code, which makes it really approachable even if you don't think of yourself as a developer. And why did we choose Forge? Let's talk about some of the benefits of building with Forge. So I described Forge as a serverless platform. Forge apps run and store data in the cloud. And from an app builder perspective, that means that you don't need to evaluate and manage infrastructure. You get it straight out of the box, which is a little bit different to Connect today. If you've got a Connect app that needs to store data, then you need to manage that infrastructure yourself. So in addition, Forge was built with security in mind from the very beginning. So the Forge platform adheres to best practices in security. It includes robust security measures like managed authentication, authorization, tenant isolation, and data management, which lets you focus on building your app rather than managing a lot of those things. And finally, Forge empowers you to create customized apps. There are lots of different ways to build and extend the product. Creating new pages, dashboard items, or components to the Jira issue view, or creating new pages, feeds, and macros in Confluence, to name just a few. And you have the option to use our pre-built components with UIKit using a minimum of code, or you can create your own custom user face for those who want more control using custom UI. So by using Forge, you can focus more on building solutions and innovating and less on managing your security, infrastructure, and scaling. So there are lots of free learning resources to get you off to a good start with Forge. And we'll get those shared with you now, the links to those. So Forge Quest is a set of tutorials, and it allows you to earn badges on the Atlassian developer community while learning about Forge through doing. Atlassian University, we now have a free Get the Most Out of Forge learning pathway on Atlassian University. And that's much more like a course with quizzes at the end to check your knowledge. And finally, we have lots of videos available on YouTube, which will walk you through the process of getting started and lots of other components of the Forge platform. So what does the Connect end of support timeline look like? In this timeline, I've highlighted in purple the key dates that are relevant for Connect apps not purchased through the marketplace. So as you can see, the changes remaining for 2025 only affect apps listed on the marketplace. But starting in March next year, Connect apps visible through the connected app screen will become unavailable. And that means that if you need to install a new app, you won't be able to do that anymore through that screen. So you'll need to look at converting that to a Forge app. And we'll talk a little bit more about that, what that means for existing Connect apps later on in this presentation. So after March, we'll continue to support Connect modules and Connect on Forge through to the end of 2026, at which point we'll no longer support Connect. So what does the end of support actually mean? It doesn't mean on the 1st of January 2027, your Connect on Forge app's going to stop working or your Atlassian Connect app's going to stop working. However, it does mean that the Connect platform will not continue to expand. So as Connect integration points become incompatible due to product changes, they may be deprecated and only critical or security-related bugs will be addressed. Bugs deemed non-critical won't be fixed. Further, support queries for this Forge platform will be prioritized, and SLOs for responding to EcoHelp tickets for Connect will be lengthened or removed. So while we won't retire Connect completely, it will be in a use at your own risk state. And over time, Connect apps will be less reliable and may lose functionalities. So for these reasons, we do recommend that you begin migrating your apps to Forge as soon as possible. So what does a migration path look like? The first step is to check your app is a custom Connect app. So you can use the connected apps screen to identify any custom Connect apps in use. Isha shared more detail about how to do this on the developer blog, which we'll share a link for. That has some guided steps. So once you've determined that whether your app is an actual Connect app and it's not a marketplace app, then you'll need to determine if you have access to the app's source code. So to migrate to Forge, you will need to have access to the source code for your app. If not, it may be necessary for you to rebuild your Forge app from scratch. And if that's the case, then you may wish to do that in-house, or you may wish to engage a solution partner. So once you've determined whether or not you have the source code, you should audit your app. So you should assess the use case that the app is serving. The app's functionality may be covered by a native cloud feature now or an existing marketplace app, or certain features may no longer be required. It's a good idea to only migrate functionality that's still needed by your organization and to reassess whether you still want to manage that functionality yourself if there's a solution available. So finally, you'll either start a Forge proof of concept or begin migrating your app to Forge incrementally. Even if your app is simple, Forge's model is a little bit different, so we recommend starting to experiment early. If Forge doesn't yet support a capability your custom app uses, let Atlassian know and keep an eye out for changes that we're bringing out. Review the docs to compare Connect capabilities to their Forge equivalents. If you rely on custom Connect apps for your workflows, now is the time to get started. While change may take some effort, it also offers a chance for you to modernize your apps and simplify them. Okay, so now I've explained what the Connect end of support is and how it will impact you. I'll hand over to Shrija, who is going to demonstrate how to migrate your Connect app incrementally to Forge.
Thanks, Mel. Sharing my screen. While I do that, hi everyone, I'm Shrija. I am an engineer at Atlassian on the ecosystem team. I've been working here for about 4 years on the Connect to Forge migration path, making sure there's a compatibility layer for existing Connect developers to convert their Connect apps to Forge. If you are a developer of a Connect app, you will know what this is. This is a Connect app descriptor. I will be demonstrating converting this Connect app to Forge in this demonstration incrementally. So with this Connect app that I'm starting with, I already have this Connect app installed. You'll see on my connected apps page on my test Jira instance. In order to convert this Connect app descriptor to a Forge manifest, I will need to run an npx command in my terminal. You'll need to do exactly this, and I can share the documentation we have around this command as well. So it's the Connect to Forge npx package. I will need to run this with a link to my descriptor. You'll see that the conversion has begun. There will be a question in here where it'll ask you if you have a Connect system user for anything that you want to persist across to your Forge app. So if you have a Connect app user that you need to persist, here you will hit Y and you will get a prompt to submit an eco-help ticket to make sure your Connect app user is persisted. So please make sure you do that if that is the case. Once your npx prompt has executed, you'll see it says Forge manifest generated and saved to manifest YAML. I'll open my IDE and show you what's happened. So on your left is the previous JSON file, which is the Connect descriptor. You will recognize the structure of this file. On the right is the same descriptor connected to a Forge manifest. So you'll see, I'll direct your attention to the Connect Modules section of this manifest. So this is a Forge app, but it's still running all your Connect modules, and it's been converted to Forge manifest syntax. Once you have this, you can proceed to enter the Forge dev loop essentially. So you can install your Forge CLI. Ian has a link to how to do that. Install Node and get started with Forge. Do a Forge login. I'm all set up here, so I will do the first thing you need to do when you create this converted manifest, which is register your app. I'll enter a name for my app. So once I've registered my app, I get 3 environments to play in: production, staging, and development. Because I'm showing you I'm actively developing on my app, I'll continue with the development environment for now and deploy my app. In the deploy step, we check our manifest is in a good state, we bundle our app, and we deploy it to the development environment. So that's what's happening right now. I'll let it finish. And as soon as this is done, I am able to install my app using this command here to my Jira instance. Previously, you'd install a Connect app by taking the app descriptor URL and uploading it manually in your connected apps page. Here it's a little different. You're uploading it as a Forge app, so you'll see some prompts. This is the scope that your app uses. You're getting a confirmation, and you're also getting an indication of the fact that you have a remote URL that your Forge app is interacting with, and this remote is your Connect-based URL. So if you're happy with all this, you can proceed with your install. And once this is installed, I can show you the Forge app that is running on my tenant with Connect modules. So for instance, let's see, I had a Jira general page. So let's find our general page. That's it here. You'll see a development tag showing that you're working in development. And this is a Connect module being rendered, but I installed it as a Forge app. You can then, once you're done with this, pretty much incrementally start migrating your Connect modules to Forge. How I like to do this is Ian has a link that he can share to this page, but I look at the capabilities equivalences. And for example, if I wanted to migrate the project page, I look it up on the left-hand side and see what a good candidate for me would be to convert it to. In this case, I have a page I converted using UIKit, and this is my converted Forge module that I brought over into Pure Forge from Connect, just as an example. And I used UIKit to do this. You can incrementally start moving your Connect modules over to Forge modules as you go. And no matter what state of the migration you are, you can always deploy your Forge app to production, and you would do that like this. And then with the deployment here, you can then install it on any instance for users to use. So have a go at this, see how you have a go at incrementally adopting Connect modules into Forge, and please reach out to us if you have any questions or if you run into any blockers. We'd love to help you out. Thanks so much. Hand back to Mel.
Thanks so much for that. Sorry, my mic was muted. I hope everyone found the demo useful. I think it's really good to see an example of how it works in live, and that was a live demo too. So now let's start having a look at our questions.
Okay. Mel, should I bring everyone in?
Yes, please.
Okay. So, calling them back. Hello, Isha. Hello, Tim. Hello, Sean. So, just in time for a few questions from the audience. So, go on,
Awesome.
Mel.
Yeah, so I'll ask the questions and then I guess one of the panelists can jump in. Maybe you can stick your hand up. From code 49, we have how long will the deprecation period be for Connect features after this end of support? Is it still 6 months or less?
I think Sean will take this one.
I'll take this one. Cool. Thanks for the question. So once we hit the end of support period at the end of 2026, Connect is effectively not managed. It will the deprecation period for actual Connect features will differ. It is likely that it will be less than 6 months for some features where there is a very clear and direct pathway. For others, it may be longer, but once again, it will still be bound by our regular deprecation notice kind of principles. So there will be change logs, anything like that. The way that I would generally perceive it is Connect is no longer evolving with our products. If we are delivering new changes to, for example, the way that Confluence pages work, or the way that macros work, or the way that workflows work within Jira, it is very unlikely that Connect will move with those. There will be an associated deprecation period where at the end of that, Connect will not be supported. So it depends. It depends on the pathway. It depends on the ease and complexity of that. But it could be shorter. It could be more. It all depends on what is impacted, and but it will always have some kind of notice or announcement that comes with it.
Okay.
Thanks, Sean.
Thank you, Sean. Next up.
Okay, next up from Mateus. I hope I'm saying that right. And the question is, do you have any plans for supporting Forge, not Connect modules, installation events in Atlassian Connect Spring Boot framework? So we'll properly save Atlassian host entity after installation. Do I have any?
So we're conscious that a lot of apps depend upon our Atlassian Connect Express and Atlassian Connect Spring Boot frameworks. We've started some work on evolving these. So at the moment, these already support Forge Remote. So if you opt to use Forge Remote, they do support that and have an ability to interact with Forge natively. But there is still some dependencies on the Connect lifecycle hook. We are looking to evolve these to not depend upon Connect. I don't have time into that. It is something that has been looked into. But we likely will see these evolve into frameworks that will some components of Forge natively over time.
Okay. Thanks, Sean. Next, we have a question from Tom. So after the deprecation, will the install private app functionality still be present? Is that the question for you again, Sean? Or
I hate to steal all the opportunities from the team.
Sorry, Sean.
The install private app functionality is intrinsically tied to Connect because you enter the Connect descriptor. Forge apps have a different distribution pathway. So with Forge, there's two avenues. The first one is you can install it using the CLI and, of course, install it to the production environment. Forge has varied environments, development, staging, production, and custom environments. The other option is if, of course, you want to install it across multiple different sites that you have, we have the ability to create a distribution link. So this can be utilized to quickly share it out and install it on those as well. So the install private app feature probably not available because it isn't around anymore. But once again, Forge has alternative distribution pathways.
Okay.
Thanks again, Sean.
Next, we have a question from Brandon. Mel?
Yeah, so Brandon asks, we have a few clients who used free marketplace apps, and now they have a paid update, which is purely because of the move to Forge. Will there ever be a time where customers are forced to start paying? Does anyone want to? I can probably answer that one myself, actually. Yeah, so I don't think we're ever going to force apps to be paid. Like, I don't think there's ever going to be a time where we're going to force all apps to be paid apps. That said, there is some pricing coming into effect with Forge where Forge will not be a free platform to use. And what that means is that once you go over the free tier, there will be costs involved. So even if you have created your own app for internal use and it's not available through the marketplace, then there may still be some charges to run that app. And I think that also could affect marketplace apps. But there aren't any plans to force free marketplace apps to be paid apps in the future. No. And yes, like I said, there are the Forge free, the free use tier for Forge is a fairly generous free use tier, so we don't expect that all apps will need to be charged.
Okay, I hope that answers your question, Brandon. And lastly, we have this question from Prem. So where do we request missing Forge capabilities or request new features? Any takers for this one? Okay. Oh, there you go. You're unmute now.
Awesome. We do have a public Forge board where you can request features. We have a bunch of features already there. So if you are missing a certain capability or want to request a new feature, we ask that you check the board first and upvote and comment your use case on any existing tickets. But otherwise, you can upload a new feature, and we can send that link to the Forge board in chat.
Okay, thank you.
I'm just
And
looking.
we'll wait for the link so we can send it to the folks here.
I'm just looking for that link now.
Thank you. Any other questions while waiting for the link? So far, that's the last question that we have, but we'll wait for a...
I do have a question that got asked this week on the developer community forums, and I thought it was one that might be worth asking here. So maybe I'll ask that. So following the announcement of the withdrawal of support and the blocking of new applications written using Connect, the question was, does Atlassian plan to phase out the entire Connect platform, making it impossible to create local applications for internal functions?
Oh. Yep, sorry,
Thanks,
Tim.
man.
Yep.
You're right, man. Sorry, Mel, would you mind linking to that question just so I can see it in its entirety?
Yeah, I actually just shared it in the private chat.
Oh, fantastic.
I shared it with you.
Okay, brilliant. So does Atlassian plan to phase out the entire Connect platform, making it impossible to create local applications for internal functions? I would say in the long run, yes. So the time that Atlassian Connect will stop working entirely is significantly after the end of support. But I would advise you to start using Forge for internal applications. So if you're building apps for your own internal usage within your company, I'd recommend starting to use Forge now, unless there's specific features of the Atlassian Connect platform that you're reliant on. But I'd say that that's for internal use cases, that's almost vanishingly unlikely at this point. So like in my day job, I spend most of my time working with migrating enterprise customers and specifically porting DC customizations over to the Forge platform in cloud. And I'm yet to run into a case that can't be built on Forge. But yeah, happy to follow up if you've got further questions about that specific use case and how to re-implement it on Forge.
Thanks, Tim. And I can see now that that we've shared that link for the board to make your requests for Forge feature requests. And so one tip I would say is that when you're creating your feature request, well, maybe two tips. So as Isha said, it's a really good idea to first check that there isn't already one that exists. If there is one that exists, it's always good to have numbers behind it. And the second thing I would recommend is that you specifically call out that this is blocking your ability to migrate your Connect app to Forge. Obviously, with the Connect end of support, we will need to look seriously at those feature requests as a priority. So make sure that you call that out so that we're aware that that is something that's blocking you. Okay, I can see we've actually got another question here from Tom, who says, and I'm sorry, there's a plane flying over me right now, so if there's background noise, I apologize. The usability using custom React UI on Forge still feels very slow, asking customers to have too much patience. Is this an area that is getting some attention?
Generally speaking, sorry, thanks, Ian. Generally speaking, yes. The Forge UI team who maintains UI kit and custom UI is continually working on performance improvements, both in terms of like the improvements of the actual components and the infrastructure, but also in terms of improving some of the flows for implementing common module types. So like adjusting the types of data that's available inside of the context when rendering. Probably need to dig into a little bit more the specific performance issues that you're seeing there. I'm not sure if you can provide a little bit more context, Tom. But in general, yes, like performance is very important to us, and we're continuing to invest in that area.
Okay, I think that's all the questions we've got. If anyone has any more questions, we do still have a little bit of time left. So be sure to ask them. Otherwise, like I said, be sure to let us know if there's functionality that you need. And we really do encourage you to get started checking out Forge as soon as possible to make sure that all the functionality is there when you need to migrate. Oh, okay. And we've got another question now from Prem. So Prem asks, what's going to happen with Connect modules after 2026 used in Forge on Connect apps? And will these be removed? And Atlassian will force devs to migrate 100% of Connect modules to Forge modules.
Okay, who wants to take this one? Is it going to be you, Sean, again?
I reckon Isha can answer that one too. Oh. Is that Isha? Can you unmute?
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Yep. So in short, you will have to move to your modules to Forge. So as Mel mentioned previously, Connect will still be around after 2026, but it won't be supported by Atlassian. So the best way to sort of get your app functionally working is to move all your modules to Forge.
Yeah, so I mean, we're not going to be there forcing you. Those modules aren't going to turn off on the 1st of January, but we do really recommend that if you want your app to be reliable and functional long term, you need to migrate your modules across. Okay. I think that's probably all the questions. Tom has left a comment. I think, Tom, if you do have some examples of the usability with custom, when you say custom React UI, do you mean, I assume you mean custom UI on Forge being slow? If you have something specific, it would be great if you could maybe make a post in the developer community forums. So that's developer.atlassian.com/community. And you can feel free to tag me on that comment. I work closely with the Forge UI team so that I can get someone to help look into that performance for you. Okay, so I think if that's all of the questions that we have for this evening, then I think we might end the session. Thank you again to our speakers and our panel. And to recap, if you rely on custom Connect apps for your workflows, now is the time that we want you to get started exploring Forge and starting your migration. While it might take some effort, and we recognize that it will take some effort to migrate your app, it does give you the chance to move your app to something that's hosted by Atlassian so that you don't have to worry about maintaining that infrastructure long term, which is always a plus. So to get started with Forge, check out one of the resources I mentioned earlier. And that's it for us today. Thank you so much for joining us.
Okay. Thanks, everyone. And with that, as always, I hope you learned something of value today, and I hope to see you in your next Dev Den. Thanks, everyone.